Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf and welcome to Foundation Friday, where today we are trying out a brand new foundation that on paper looks like it's going to be right up my street. This is a brand new foundation from MAC. This is the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. I have not tried the original MAC Face and Body Foundation. I've always meant to try it because, as you know, I absolutely love the DIOR Backstage Face and Body Foundation. And maybe it'd be great to do a comparison between the two. If you want to see that, maybe next week, do let me know in the comments section. But for today, we're going to be trying out this brand new one, which is more of a radiant version of the original MAC Face and Body. And I am super excited to get some of this on my skin. If you are new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload 2 to 3 videos here on YouTube every single week. And I'm also on Instagram if you fancy checking me out over there. It's at Pampered Wolf, all lowercase, no spaces. I would seriously appreciate it if you would come and join the Pampered Wolf Pack by clicking on that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's do a little bit of bump on this and we'll get some on my face. So this is the MAC Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. It's £27 in the UK and you get 50ml worth of product, which is far more than the average 30ml. This comes in 30 flexible shades. It's supposed to give sheer buildable coverage with a natural my skin but better finish and a radiant glow. This is supposed to be ultra lightweight, provide instant hydration, 8-hour long wear, and it's also supposed to be waterproof. It's alcohol free, but it does contain some perfuming ingredients. Having said that, even though this does contain some perfuming ingredients, I can't smell it. Now that might be my cold, but I would say that unless you are seriously sensitive to fragrance, you will probably be able to get away with this, but the ingredients are there. So let's get some of this on. Okay, so as per usual, I already have all of my skincare on my skin and I've given that plenty of time, usually 15 to 20 minutes to sink into my skin. Today it's been a lot longer because I put it on before the school run and it's had at least an hour to sink into my skin today. So it does say to shake this product well. As you can see, I am doing that. So let's get some of this on my skin. I'm going to apply 1/2 with a brush, 1/2 with a sponge. It says you can also apply this with fingertip application as well. So if you're a regular to my channel, you'll know I hate that, so I'm not going to do it. So let's see how this goes on. I really like the squeezy bottle. It's very travel friendly. It's just not trying to be anything that it's not. I like it. Okay. Okay, so this is really sheer. Really sheer. I'm gonna see if you can build this up once I've got one layer of this on. It's not really doing very much for my skin at the moment. As you can see, that side, and then there's this side. It's just evened everything out a little bit more. So let's see if it's a little more buildable. If it's not buildable, it does say it's buildable, but if it's not buildable, this is going to be suitable for a lot less people because I think the majority of people are going to want slightly more coverage than this. It's very beautiful though. Leaves a really nice sheen on the surface of the skin. Nothing glittery. It's just a nice radiant sheen. So really easy to apply with a sponge as well. I prefer the brush for the main reason that there's really no difference in appearance whether you apply this with a sponge or with a brush. It's still very smooth application, but I use 3 times as much product with a sponge because this is such thin consistency that a lot of the product soaked up into the sponge. Let me just show you the consistency of this product because it's something that I forgot to do earlier on. As you can see, it's very liquidy. So let's see if this is buildable on this side of my face. Oh, it definitely is. definitely buildable, but it goes on so beautifully, just like water. Very, very light. This dries down to a very skin-like finish. It's very, very pretty. I don't think if you bumped into me on the street right now, you would know that I'd got foundation on my skin. It's really, really nice. Really, really nice. Now, the online system at MAC has the most amazing chat function, and they will find your shade for you. So this is not the shade that I would have gone for had I picked this just off the website. I would have gone for N1 or N2, whereas I sent a picture in on the online chat and he said, no, you're C1. And I was like, surely not. And he said, yes, it's definitely coming up as a C1. So I have gone on the advice that he gave me. I've bought C1 and perfection, absolutely perfect for my skin tone. So I definitely recommend the online chat function on the MAC website. For now, I am loving this. I'm gonna go and put the rest of my products on and I'll be right back. So that's the final look for today, and let me tell you, I am absolutely adoring the way that this foundation looks on my skin because it doesn't look like foundation. It just looks like my skin is perfect. And that is the look that I go for on a daily basis. It's a really hard look to create without it looking like you've got masses of makeup on your face, but this is definitely doing it for me at this moment in time. Let me zoom you in. Before I do though, let me just tell you, I have powder on my forehead in the center, powder between my brows, powder on my nose, and powder on my chin area, and it did try and creep into my smile line, so I had to get a damp sponge, a little bit of powder on my damp sponge, and just press that around that area, and that rectified that issue. So I have powder in those areas, but I haven't powdered 100% of my face. So let me show you this up close and personal. As you can see, my skin has just the right amount of luminosity. It's really radiant and beautiful without looking sparkly at all, and also it doesn't look wet, which I don't particularly like that amount of dewiness on my skin. It just looks like skin. It really does. So I have bronzed this up a little bit. It hasn't oxidized. This is supposed to stay true to colour all day, so this shouldn't oxidize, and I can speak for that this definitely hasn't oxidized on my skin. The only reason it's darker is because I have added a little bit of bronzer on top because I just wanted that sun-kissed glow today. At this moment in time, I am really, really happy with the way that this looks. It feels beautiful as well, very, very lightweight on the skin. All the other products glided on and blended out effortlessly. This is not tacky to the touch. So anybody that really doesn't like that tacky feeling when you apply a makeup product to the skin, you may really like this because, you know, it doesn't feel like anything on the skin at all. So I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. I will check in with you a little bit later on once I've done a wear test. It's not going to be a massively long wear test today because although this says it's a long wearing foundation, it also says 8 hours. And I don't class 8 hours to be a really long wearing foundation. So I'll see how this wears and I'll check in with you a little bit later on. I will be wearing a mask later on the school run. So we're going to see whether this is transfer resistant, whether it holds up to the mask test. See you later. Welcome back to the check-in. It's now been just under 11 hours. In fact, just over 11 hours. What are we on? Yes, just over 11 hours since I first applied this to my skin. I'm tired. I feel washed out, and my face is not helping right now because do you know this looks okay from a distance, but when you get really up close, you will see the deterioration that this foundation has had. Now, I am not knocking this foundation. It is a sheer coverage foundation, and it's a very beautiful one. It said that it would last 8 hours, and it did. I just haven't had a second all day to actually check in with you at that 8 hour stage. It still looked really respectable at 8 hours. From 8 hours onwards, this has deteriorated quite rapidly. And now we're at 11 hours. I mean, there's huge patches of foundation completely missing. And considering that this is a sheer coverage foundation, usually you get that fade effect where you don't notice that any foundation is missing because it's such a sheer coverage foundation. I have noticed that patches of this have disappeared on the end of my chin, on the end of my nose, bits up here from my face mask. This doesn't say it's transfer resistant, so I am being a little bit overcritical here, but I also have a patch on my forehead that's disappeared, and I don't have a mask on my forehead, and I also don't lean on my forehead or anything like that, although I have felt like doing that today. It may be just that the tasks that I've been doing today, the fact that it's been hot and then cold and then hot and then cold, and the fact that I'm quite hormonal and tired has played a part to this foundation not working for me today. So also the SPF that I've got underneath this foundation, maybe the wrong SPF to wear with this. So I'm going to try some different things over the next couple of days, and if my opinion has changed at all, there will be another check-in after this one. If there is no other check-in after this one, then my opinion stands. Let me show you this in natural lighting so you can see what I mean from today's efforts. So this hasn't sunk into any of my fine lines. The powder definitely did the trick. As you can see, it is slightly shinier than it was when it first went on. It has slightly made my dryness worse though. Whether my dryness would have been worse at this stage anyway, I'm not quite sure, because this has seemed quite a hydrating foundation, but you can definitely see the dryness more now after applying the foundation after a few hours than you could when I first applied it. This hasn't gone cakey at all around my nose area, but it has disappeared. It hasn't oxidized at all, so I definitely think that this is one of those foundations that does stay true to shade, but it's definitely not transfer resistant, and I wouldn't call an 8-hour foundation a long wearing foundation either. This is a little bit of a I'm not sure foundation. I am definitely going to try it a few more times and see what I think. Hopefully my mind will have done a complete 180 and I will see you for another check-in in just a second. If not, it's still a little bit of a one for me. Hope to see you all in the next video.